done. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and part 8, the final, for the Dragon 1/35th scale Panzer I Ausf A. So here is the completed kit. All done, painted, ready to roll. First off, I want to shoot out a big thanks to my buddy Keith Short for giving me this kit to build. And I really appreciate it, man. It was a lot of fun. So let's talk a little bit about the kit. This is the first Panzer I I've built by Dragon, and I have to say that it was a very, very nice kit. Early on, I mentioned in the introduction that the nice thing about this kit is that there's not a bunch of unused parts that Dragon kits can sometimes have depending on the version, because what they like to do is they take the base parts from one kit and then add other sprues and extra parts and stuff to that to allow for different variants or whatever, and sometimes it can get quite overwhelming, and there can be a whole lot of extra parts, which not only does it seem wasteful, but it adds to the confusion of what Dragon kits can already be at times. But not the case with this one. It was just very easy kit to build. Now there's a lot of small parts and stuff, and it's not say compared to a Tamiya kit that doesn't have as many parts, there's not really, you can't really compare it, I don't think, but it is really an easy kit to build. There are plenty of small parts, and there are some photo etch parts, but the photo etch parts actually make sense in this particular case. For example, these heat shields on the exhaust, these little latches here for the fenders. On the real deal, I guess you pull those back or unlatch them or whatever, and you can flip this curved part out of the way for track maintenance or whatever. But that's really all there is as far as yeah, I can't see anything else. I can't remember anything else for photo etch. So very sensible amount of photo etch that really does enhance the kit without making it overly complicated. The tracks, magic tracks, they went together great. They worked just wonderfully. I was able to get some nice sag. If you build this kit and you do want sag, I would suggest adding one or two lengths to the suggested quantity the instructions call for. If not, they'll be pretty well tensioned. And most of the photos I've seen, there are some with properly tensioned and flat tracks, but most of them had a bit of sag to them. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. It's a really good kit. There's no surprises. Goes together like it should, and ends up being a very nice kit. Not a whole lot of tiny protruding parts to knock off. I actually got through this build with only knocking one part off, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to see if you can notice it. So yes, very nice kit. Let's talk a little bit about the figure. Alpine Miniatures, World War II German DAK tanker. Now there are two heads that come with this one, and I originally used the one in the larger illustration there with the cap with the visor on it, but I ended up using the one in the upper right hand corner because I did not like the paint, the way the paint turned out on the one I had done originally, in the larger picture. So I tried to get the paint off of it, and let's just say 91% alcohol. Does not like this resin that's used on these figures, because the bill of the cap dissolved. It was horrible, but no big deal. I used the other head, and as you can see, it turned out nicely. Again, figures is not my forte, but I have discovered a method for painting that I like, and for what I'm doing, which is just accentuating the kit itself just with a figure to add some scale and a little bit of interest. The painting method works great. I will say this: a good, well molded figure really helps with paint. It makes it so much easier to paint, especially the small details. But if you haven't tried an Alpine figure, I would definitely recommend giving them a shot. Really, really nice figures, and the price isn't too bad. As far as the paints on this one, or let's talk about the actual stuff that I use, supplies and stuff. To me, extra thin as usual for most of my kits. Used a couple of different Loctite brand super glues, the gel type and the liquid type for the photo etch, and I used SMS paints for the exterior finishes. SMS paints, good stuff. For the figure, I used a combination of AK Interactive figure paints. I just happened to have a Africa Core paint set, so it made the uniform a lot easier. For some of the colors, I used this Warfront brand paints, and then various and sundry Vallejo model color paints. So I think that's about it. So yeah, that is the end of this build. Again, I want to say a big special thanks to Keith Short for giving me this kit. I appreciate it, my friend, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you like the way it turned out. As for the rest of you, thanks for following along with this build. I will have links in the end screen if you haven't seen the rest of the build and you'd like to do so. And if you have any comments, hints, tips, questions, anything like that, put them in the comments section down below and I'll get back to you. So stay tuned here for a quick slideshow at the end of this video. Hope you enjoy it. And as always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will see you all later.